When we go to the movies, we're often drawn in by the character's journey through life, their experiences, and ups and downs over time.
Today, we're sharing the story of a West Michigan man whose love for movies has taken him on a journey of his own. It's one of self-discovery and reconnecting with his past.
13 on your side's Eric Howard has the story.
You could say Shane McSauby
I just grew up very obsessively watching movies.
felt most at home in a theater.
There used to be a theater on Alpine called Alpine 4, it was like second-run theater, and you could go see movies for like $2 a ticket.
Watching movies.
My aunt had this like double-decker tape VCR, so she'd record movies, so we also had boxes and boxes of movies.
All the time.
Terminator 2, Predator, Titanic. Like, I really love Titanic, which is kind of funny.
He just couldn't let go of films or the idea of filmmaking.
It was just so comforting to watch those movies. I feel like as a filmmaker, that's sort of the entertainment level of those movies is what I'm aiming for.
So he started searching for his voice, which he started to find
First I went to GRCC and I took all my gen eds there.
in silent film.
It was my first time watching Chaplin, City Lights, we watched Casablanca, Cinema Paradiso. That really solidified being like, oh, there's such another element of cinema out there that I can look to.
He studied filmmaking at GVSU and in New York, still not sure how he'd contribute to the scene.
In your 20s, you're sort of searching, and just as a 20-year-old human, like not even as a filmmaker, you're like searching for meaning. Filmmaking to me always reflected that.
He connected with not just filmmaking culture, but his culture.
I started reconnecting with Anishinaabe, like traditional culture. I'd always grown up being very proud of being Native, and it was always a big part of my life.
But Shane always remembered what made him fall in love with filmmaking.
I wanted to make people laugh.
So he tested the waters with his first short film with a focus on Native culture.
And it was a sort of romantic drama, and I had a few jokes sprinkled in. The whole crowd laughed at every moment, and I was like, this is the best feeling ever.
Shane thrived off of telling uncomfortable yet hilarious stories involving Native communities and outsiders.
The next big thing was Happy Thanksgiving, which was just a straight up dark comedy.
I'd like to dedicate this turkey to the thousands of Wampanoag and Pequot men, women, and children that were massacred by the Pilgrims.
But as Shane's time at NYU came to an end, he couldn't have been more ready to leave.
I had done Happy Thanksgiving in 2019 before the pandemic, and then I got really depressed, put it away, and was like, I'm done with filmmaking, and started going off and got into some activism and organizing and stuff and traveled the country.
But he began to notice something troubling.
Post 2020, there's been this rise of people, of non-natives claiming indigenous heritage. There's been a lot of people doing this because as natives are getting more sort of voice in society with media and with film and academia, there's a lot of push to get Native people in these spaces. I wanted to like play with the sinisterness of the beguiling of that.
The story of a harmless date, exploration of someone new, became a story about figuratively and literally cannibalizing someone's culture.
We premiered at TIFF in September of 2024. I mean, it was an incredible experience.
It gained global attention, now taking Shane from the northern part of the continent to the southern part of America. The Beguiling is set to make its premiere in America at South by Southwest, one of the most prestigious film festivals in the country.
The hope is that people will connect with it or people will ask questions.
Shane has always felt at home in a theater.
Personal stories is what drives cinema, and it's what drives storytelling.
Now sharing his own.
Find your personal stories.
Eric Howard, 13 on your side.